Hola estudiantes, ¿cómo están? Yo estoy bien. This is a refresher for some of you and an introduction for others. This is the alphabet in Spanish. I think I missed one. Hold on. Okay, hopefully it shows. I'm going to pronounce each one of these so that you know how they are pronounced in Spanish. Okay, some of them sound like they would in English, but some of them don't. And I don't know if you noticed, but there are some words, some letters that are they don't exist in the English alphabet. Let's start with the sounds of the vowels first. Let's go down here and start with these. In English, when we say the vowels, when I pronounce the vowels, they have too many sounds, even within one vowel. For example, in English, these would be, in English, A. So that's more than one sound. That's A and then E, A. E, I, O, U. Especially for these two down here, we tend in English to close our mouths as we finish the sound of how these sounds are pronounced. O, U. But in Spanish, what I want to say is that in Spanish, they only have one sound. You don't have to say more than one for each. In Spanish, this would be A. And the nice thing about Spanish is that the A is always going to sound the same. Each one of these are always going to sound the same in every situation. Like in English, the A could sound like an A, like in garbage. It could sound like an A, such as in the word, I'm blanking now. But in Spanish, this would be A, one sound, E. And the I, it's going to sound like an E in Spanish. In Spanish, the I is your E sound. E sounds like E. Okay? The O is O. So you just say, instead of saying O, you stop at the beginning. O. O. And there is certain force to it too. I think that in English, some of these vowels sound very soft. In Spanish, they're more, I don't want to say stronger, they're just assertive. A, E, I, O, U. 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 A, E, I, O, U. You practice. Take about maybe 1 minute and try to practice. Pause the video and practice saying A, E, I, O, U. Now let's move to these. These are the consonants. And I'm going to pronounce each one of these. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. See, the G sounds like an H in certain situations in Spanish. G, H. H is the H. And in Spanish, the H doesn't have a sound unless it is next to the C, like in the word mochila. Well, that's in Spanish. Let's see. Well, yeah, in Spanish, mochila. Mochila is your backpack. Mochila. Mochila would be like this. Mochila. See, now, because they're together, they have one single sound. Mo, chi, la. Okay, so where were we? Here. I'll move over. H, I, like here. I, jota, jota. So the J, this is the J, jota in Spanish. And the J's in Spanish, they sound like H's in English. As in the name Jose. Jose. J, K, L. And I tried to squeeze this one here because I forgot about it, but I'm going to bring it up here so you know it's separated because there's not enough room here. This is a double L, right? One is I can actually do this so you can see. So two L's. Two L's in Spanish, they sound like your J in English. Some people in Spanish and some certain Spanish-speaking countries, they like to pronounce that double L like a Y sound, right? For example, the word rain in Spanish is with a double L. If you're tempted to say this is lluvia, I want you to start thinking in these terms, you know, in Spanish. That double L, you can make it sound like a Y, lluvia, lluvia, or like a J. I like, and neither, they're both actually right, this sounds, but I like to make it sound like a J, lluvia. Lluvia. It's like you're actually putting the strength on that double L, lluvia. Okay, so there you have it, the double L. So it has a J sound. This is the M. N sounds the same in English. And here we have the ñ. Ñ has a tilde on top. That's called a tilde. Tilde. And in English it's called the same thing, tilde. Ñ. Ñ sounds like in the word mañana. Mañana. Right? You have the N that sounds like an N here, but here, when you add the tilde, that's a different sound. It says mañana. If I were to write it for you to pronounce it, it would be mañana. This is incorrect spelling, but if I wanted you to focus on the pronunciation, you can look at this. There's a Y there. Mañana. Mañana. And that is tomorrow. Okay? Let's continue. Oh, and the word niño, right? Niño. Boy. Niño. The N has an N sound, but it's not until you put that tilde on top that it changes to a Ñ sound. Niño. O. Like here. O. P. Q. R. And sometimes there's a double R. And I'm going to pause here so you know that R by itself sounds softer than a double R. For example, I'm going to erase this so that I can write here your example. The word caro, which means expensive, and the word carro, with two R's, means car. Or you can say you have a carro caro, an expensive car. Carro caro, caro carro. This is softer, and I will say it again so that you can see the differences. They are very subtle. Caro, carro, caro, carro. Okay? This pronunciation is really hard for a lot of English speakers to make. Some people can and some people cannot. For the purpose of my class, I'm just just exposing you to it, but you don't have to. You don't have to be perfect in the pronunciation. Some people, some teachers of Spanish are very strict with it. I'm not, right? They want you to sound like a native when you speak Spanish. That, I think, is secondary, in my opinion. Sounding like a native is secondary to actually just being understood. So if you say carro and carro, in English, you're going to sound the same with the R if you don't know how to roll the R's. But I'm sure that a lot of Spanish speakers are just going to appreciate that you're trying. You can say, you know, carro, carro. But that's the difference. This one is softer. This one is has a strength to it. You roll it. So that would be actually here, and again, I didn't add it. I should have. S, T, U, and there's a V, or V, in español V, W. The V's in Spanish lately, and I say lately, but when I was growing up and in my Spanish classes, I grew up in Puerto Rico, so I took Spanish the way you take English here, right? You know English, but you still have to take English. So I took Spanish, and my teacher was really strict about us pronouncing that like a V, right? V, like that. But now the pronunciation of this word, of this letter, has changed so much that now it is acceptable to pronounce it like a B, like this one, right? Like a B. So in terms of, like, say, for instance, vamos. The word vamos is let's go, all together in one, right? In English, you need let us go. In Spanish, you only need one word to say all that. The point is that now, instead of saying vamos, we can say vamos. And the reason why is that people in virtually every Spanish-speaking country have dropped this like a V, sounding like a V, and they just pronounce it like a B, so it was changed to that sound. So you can say, again, if you say vamos and you're in a Spanish-speaking country, people are not going to say, that's not how you say it. They're just going to be appreciative that you're trying, but you can say vamos, like a B, vamos. Let's see, and W, basically what in English is a W, right, a double U, but in Spanish it's a double V, W, W, that's the name of this one. X, Y, that's a Greek Y, or a Greek I, we call it, Y, which sounds like, it can sound like a double L, like in the word yo, yo. And again, a lot of people in Spanish-speaking countries pronounce that yo. And in my class, in this class, you can say yo if you like to. I grew up in a country where it was pronounced yo. So that's what I like to say. And lastly, zeta. The Z's in Spanish, they sound like S's. So every time that you see a Z, pronounce it like an S. For example, the word zapatos. Ooh, that's a big A there. The word zapatos, which means, do you know what it means? It means shoes. That's right. Zapatos. Zapatos. You would be tempted to say zapatos, because that's people that are beginners of Spanish, they like to say zapatos, but it's not. It sounds actually, you know, it's hard to understand that one when you don't say it right. So say zapatos, zapatos, okay? We will pronounce these and you'll practice more and more with these. If you want to, you can replay this video so that you can pronounce these. And I should put a comma after each one because some of them are composed of two, like the double L and the double R. And you know now that they're separated there. The double L comes after the L and the double R comes after the R. Okay? Watch the video again and again and again until you get this, until you get it. All right? If you have any questions, you can let me know the questions during class or via email or whatever. Okay? I think I got everything that I wanted to say here. I will leave you with a word, with maybe two words for you to practice knowing the following. Knowing that all of these sound the same in every word. A, E, I, O, U. And now knowing that each one of these will always sound the same in each situation also. The word that I'm looking for, that I will leave you with so that you can try to pronounce. Let's see, start with this one. Jardín. There's an accent. The accent, oh, I pronounced it for you, so we'll change that one. The accent is basically, when you see it, just say that syllable stronger than the rest of the syllables within that word. Jardín. Jardín. All right. Now, these are now the two that I will leave you with so that you can practice on your own. This one means gardener. It's a gardener, right? The person who is out in the garden planting. Okay. See if you can try practicing how to pronounce this word. Also, how to pronounce the word. I'll give you this one. Let me make it clear for you, so that there are no doubts there. This word means road. So how do you pronounce this one? And how do you pronounce this one? Okay. Hasta luego.